Hey, hi everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to our Energy Trust of Oregon LatinoBuilt commercial construction business roundtable. We're excited that you guys are here today. For those who are new to LatinoBuilt, I want to let you know a little bit about us. I'm the Executive Director, Leanna Petrone, and our mission is to improve the opportunities in construction for Latino-owned businesses in Oregon. And our vision is to build a community that empowers and supports the voices of Latino-owned businesses in their efforts to overcome barriers, develop capacity, promote, and enrich lives. We're really excited that you guys are here with us today, and we are going to get in and talk about things, and it really is, we want more of a discussion, but for the most part, while other people are talking, please don't forget to keep yourself on mute. If you do have immediate questions that you just don't want to forget, place them in the chat. We will be conducting today's meeting in English, but it doesn't mean that you guys can't ask questions in Spanish or what have you, but we surveyed who was in attendance today, and we realized that you guys are all pretty proficient in English. If there is something other than that that you feel strongly about, please let us know. You can even private message us, and we're happy to accommodate the presentation to you. Don't forget to silence your phones when you're talking. The chat, I think I covered all my bases, and I'm going to, don't forget, we're recording. Just so you guys know that this will be posted on our YouTube channel, so we'll keep it very professional. And so it is my pleasure to hand it off to Angel Swanson.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate this. This is something I look forward to, working with LatinoBuilt in any way I can, because the mission is so worthwhile and the need is so clear. So this is a fantastic organization, and we're very, very proud to be partnering with LatinoBuilt to support Latino contractors. So thank you very much. Do you think we should wait a few more minutes? I'm just realizing we have, I think we had 8 people, or shall we just go right ahead? Will be recorded.
You can proceed with the beginning.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, so the welcome. Thank you, Leanna. We want to start off. This is how the next hour or so is going to run. I wanted to give us a chance to go around and do some introductions. And those introductions, we'd like to include a little moment where we can all say our name, our business name, and have an opportunity to say what brought us here today. And what is it that we're looking for out of today's engagement? If we could limit to about 1 minute a person, that'd be great. But if you wanted to take a little bit more time because you really want to have something you want to share, that's also fine. So I'll start off, and I'll say, and then what I love it is if you could, I'm going to take this off the, I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to put in the chat the things we're looking for you guys to share so that we don't forget. And also so the slide's not up. I'm hearing a buzzing sound from someplace. Is anyone hearing that? Anyway, and then after we do introductions, we're going to go over why do you want to get involved in the commercial industry and the commercial construction space at this point? Because I know some folks are thinking about it. Some people are starting to grow their business in this space. And so we have we have an opportunity to spend a few minutes talking about the benefits there. We're going to talk a little bit about Energy Trust. Who are we? Why are we here? What are we doing with LatinoBuilt and how to support contractors? We're going to talk about specific support for commercial projects. And then we have a pretty exciting event today. We have a few people who will be performing for us to help us understand a potential conversation with a customer and understand how these offerings can help really move forward a project and a sale. I'm looking forward to that. And then we'll have a summary slide, just kind of going through the things that we're going to be discussing or have available to you, and there will be hyperlinks in that available on the PDF version that we will then share out to attendees. Have some opportunities for question and answer, but as Leanna said, we don't necessarily wait till the end for your questions. If you think someone's talking and you don't want to forget, go ahead and put it in the chat, but we'd love to have people jump in and ask clarifying questions or bring up an idea or something they're curious about. And that's our day. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the share and put in our introduction prompts in the chat. I'll be right back with that. What is that buzzing? Can anyone see that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I hear it too. It sounds like someone's getting a haircut, but it's not me, and no one in my house.
That's not how I get a haircut.
It's like text someone's phone on vibrate on the desktop. It could be your phone vibrating too. You're just getting lots of text messages, Angel. That's probably what's happening.
It's not me. I promise. It's not me. Okay. All right. So I'm trying to chat in here. My chat screen. There we go. Okay, so my name is Angel Swanson. I work with Energy Trust of Oregon's existing buildings program. So existing buildings is related to commercial structures. So if it's an office building, a hospital, it can go from a small restaurant all the way up to a penitentiary. We work with every kind of commercial building that exists as it says existing building. And we have other programs for new buildings and residential and agriculture. So my specific area of focus is this commercial industry. And I'm here to support you guys with using what we have to offer and learning more about that and partnering with LatinoBuilt. So that's my story. And I'd like you to nominate the next person to talk if you don't mind. And if you don't know them, that's totally fine. Just pick a name in the boxes here. And I'm going to go ahead and nominate Leanna again. I know she just spoke, but I want her to go ahead and chat and have her keep the ball rolling.
Okay, awesome. Once again, I'm Leanna Patron. I'm the Executive Director of LatinoBuilt, and we are thankfully have partnered with Energy Trust of Oregon here today, and we're really excited to bring these opportunities to you, but also offer you that we are in LatinoBuilt. We are actively assisting businesses like your own to enroll in the program, have any type of support that you need, within the program, and also for the construction industry. So we're excited to be here. Please never hesitate to reach out to us there. And I will go to Brenda.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brenda Castillo, and I am with JC Pro Builders Construction. We are general contractors. We do a little of everything, but our main focus is siding, what we've done for many years. So what I want to obtain from this meeting is, I guess, opportunities, what Energy Trust has to offer as a small business, and yes, pretty much learn as much as I can to hopefully eventually expand more our business, pretty much. Thank you. Okay, I nominate, sorry guys. I'll nominate Dulce.
Thank you, Brenda. Somehow I knew you were going to call on me for some reason. So hi, everyone. I'm Dulce. I'm with LatinoBuilt. And what I look forward today is to really bringing you guys more information on Energy Trust and how it can grow your business. And as well to remind you guys that LatinoBuilt, like Leona said, we're here for you. So if you guys need any help, please reach out, whether it's for this or anything else for your business. Happy to be here. Oh, and I nominate, I almost forgot, Ophelia.
We can't hear you, Ophelia. But I think I figured out who's getting their haircut.
We can't hear you.
I think she's getting her little thing plugged in to get it sorted.
Yeah, she's trying to connect her headphones, I feel like.
Yeah, can you folks hear me now?
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I apologize. I have a plan B. Good evening. My name is Ophelia Lara, and I'm with 3 Diamond Construction. We're a general contractor. We work most of public projects, commercial, some residential. tenant improvement, remodel, renovation, demo, deconstruction. And I would love to learn more about, opportunities with Energy Trust. And I apologize, I have a class at 5:30, so I have to leave early, but I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
And who
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, do you want to nominate someone?
Okay, so who's next? Let me see. So Nate?
Hi, I am Collins. I'm with the Energy Trust existing multifamily team. So Energy Trust defines the multifamily market as any building with 2 or more dwelling units sharing a wall. So anything from a duplex up to an apartment complex, including assisted living, all falls under the multifamily program. So that is great opportunity for retrofits and new construction in that space. And so we look forward to seeing what type of incentive offerings, would fit best for your business. It sounds like so far we have a fair mix of construction contractors and general contractors, which would be a great fit for some of our offerings. But I'll go ahead and pass it on to Nick Dreves, who can then discuss some of the commercial offerings and the different types of incentives available there. Thank you all.
There's my mute button. I found it. Thanks, Nate. So my name is Nick Dreves. I'm the Trade Alley Manager right now for existing buildings. I've been helping Angel and working with Liana and Dulce as well. I'm just super excited and interested to hear everyone's experience and hopefully, connect some dots with interest and experience and our opportunities for support and assistance to the contractor community. So I think that rounds out what I'm hoping to do. And I don't think we've met Freddy yet. So let's do Freddy. I'm going to nominate you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here again. My name is Freddy Salazar. I am on the Energy Trust existing multifamily program. I serve as an energy advisor capacity. So I'm usually dealing with folks like yourselves, the ones that are out looking for the incentives and the information that can help, your businesses. And so really, from my perspective, I'm here as in a listening capacity. I really would love to hear from you guys, what, you want Energy Trust to kind of look like, what your needs are, and, what you really want to see from us going forward. And so that'll kind of help inform us and how we go about interacting with folks such as yourselves and the needs that you have and what you would like to see from Energy Trust. So feel free to reach out to me at any time. Again, I'm on the multifamily program. Drop my info here in the chat and looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Ready, nominate someone. Who's your next person?
Oh, I got to nominate someone. All right, let's nominate David Molina's Construction.
Hey, good evening, everyone. My name is David Molina. I am with Molina's Construction Company. We are a small general contractor focusing on site development primarily. We're mostly in the federal space, in the federal marketplace, but we ventured into commercial here last year for a job we did for Whiting and Kennedy. And then recently, we're still wrapping this project up with LRS Architecture. And we've had a pretty good time working with about 9 trades, including plumbing, HVAC, electrical. And that was really cool. Just a small caveat, we are actually fairly new to the program with Energy Trust. In the last month, we've basically signed up. And what really excites me is because our team is fairly small, but the majority of us are bilingual. And we see this as a pretty good thing because we know a lot of Hispanic business owners are out there, a lot of owners that may or may not know about the program. And so we're looking forward about trying to help capture the market and help move people and move the needle forward in terms of helping understand how this is not only going to save them money, but more importantly, how this is great for the environment. And so for everyone here on the team, for everyone that, we love our environment, my girls, my 3 daughters. So we're all pretty excited about it. We're really interested in it. And we're looking forward to building this, what we can do together, all of us. So with that, I will turn it over Let's see, Eric Martinez.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Eric Martinez, Nexus Electrical Group, commercial, industrial, electrical firm. Curious, I don't know too much about Energy Trust of Oregon. I've heard their name, you see their stuff all over the place, but I'm just really interested in, especially in the electrical industry with the renewable resources with solar and wind and even now water. I've been seeing some renewable resources with water flow and turbines and stuff like that. So I'm just kind of interested in hearing more about what Energy Trust does and what kind of programs they have. So, and with that, Ernesto is up next. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name is Ernesto with Comfort Insulation. Actually, I was working with Energy Trust for the last couple of years, basically doing a lot of retrofitting houses and installation, upgrade attics, floor, walls. And, it was really nice working with them and doing a manufactured homes actually for Doug Blaster and Doug Seal. So it's really good working with Energy Trust for these 2 years. And I'm still learning a lot, and they, it's a really nice working with Energy Trust. So I'm happy working with them. It's a lot of opportunities for jobs actually, and more potential for help the people outside to save money on energy bills. So yep, that's basically what I'm doing it. So yeah, that's good. And do I have to nominate somebody? I don't know who else. Oh, I nominate Ophelia.
Oh, I think Josh is the only one left to go.
Okay, Josh.
Josh, you're on mute. Unless I'm not sure if you're talking. Oh, you don't have a mic. Will you type your name and stuff inside the chat here?
And I think Cameron hasn't gone yet, has he?
No,
I haven't. No, sorry, everyone. I snuck in. So Cameron Starr with Energy Trust of Oregon. I want to thank Leanna Dulce and my colleague Angel and Nick and Nate. Really great to see businesses on this call. We're happy to support you. Ernesto, you mentioned the no-cost manufactured home service. We're looking to make some improvements to that for next year, so look out for some updates on that. David, thank you. You had a colleague attend our Trade Ally Forum. Thank you. We look forward to working with your company more. And any way we can support and get more contractors involved in energy efficiency, we're game. So thank you, everyone, for taking the time this evening. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Cameron. And it looks like Josh is putting his name in the chat here. And look, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
So I can talk about it. Josh, he's one of our members as well, and he does construction and general construction. Getting tongue twister there. And he wanted to know a little bit more about what Energy Trust was as well, and how can it help his business, because he also does roofing and insulation. So I think he would really benefit from getting the information that you guys have for them today.
And Josh, just a heads up, if you're on a computer, but you want to talk, you can go click the little mic button on the bottom left and then click switch to phone audio, and then it'll call your phone. So you can join via your phone for that, so there's audio, if you want to. Just want to make sure you knew that was an option.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm doing that actually right now to preserve bandwidth. A little pro tip, a little Zoom life hack. When you say you can join either with your computer or you join with your phone, and then it takes a minute because you have to put in your participant ID too, so that your voice matches with your face. But yeah, that's a good, thanks Nick, that's good point.
Yeah, and it doesn't kick you off the video, it just adds the audio to the phone, so that way you're good to go.
Yeah. And now I'd like to turn over again to Leanna, and I think she might call on David a little bit to talk a little bit, just briefly about the commercial market opportunities. I think David already touched on that a little bit, but Leanna.
Hi, everyone. So today, why commercial? Because that's what today's meeting is all about, right? Let's talk about what is residential versus commercial construction. I found out that we aren't all fully familiar with it, so we'll go over it a little bit. So residential construction is where people live. It refers to projects that involved a single family home or dwelling, like an apartment or an individual condo or townhouse. Commercial construction, though, essentially covers just about every other type of project. So education, schools, colleges, universities, entertainment, casinos, concert halls, movie theaters, museums, amusement parks, government, police and fire stations, military bases, prisons, courthouses, and infrastructure, roads, highways, bridges, retention dams, power lines, power stations, and substations. Landscaping site work, so golf courses, parks, athletic fields, lodging, hotels, motels, resorts, medical, assisted living facilities, hospitals, medical offices, nursing homes, retail, supermarkets, convenience stores, fitness centers, shopping centers, transportation, airports, bus stations, parking garages, rail stations, subways, others, office, data centers, bars, restaurants, and then if the project involves a mixed use building with both residential and commercial, this typically is considered commercial construction. That's a lot of what we're going to talk about today, because I feel like, especially for those who are already in the residential sector, this is their easy transition into commercial, but not for everyone there. So what does this mean? Whether you specialize in residential or commercial construction projects, this has an impact on the size and scope of your project and your business overall. And that also determines your rate of growth and income producing rate and ability. So when we're dealing with residential, the majority of the residential projects are paid by the homeowner, right? And dealing with the homeowner, there's a lot of emotions and personalities that sometimes come into play. There's even social media, which, you know, everybody has their own sounding board, right? Residential projects can involve interacting. I just lost my clip, my notes. Residential projects can involve interacting directly with homeowners or renters and are more often found through referrals than a competitive bidding process. And they also include multifamily housing. And then when you're dealing with construction, commercial projects on average, they're larger. More employees are needed, and that is the creation of more jobs and the ability to support more families. Most jobs are acquired through a competitive bidding process, but also determined through relationships built with developers and general contractors. Oregon government and developers are using mixed-use buildings, and the use of them, it's soaring these days. It's appealing to investors. It's an effective use of land, economic development, and improved tax bases. The revitalization of downtown, main streets, and neighborhood centers, and the development of needs of housing close to jobs and services, and creation of jobs that are close to where people live. There's walkability of communities where it applies. There's transit support is there for development as well. Let's see here, decreased commuter road congestion, we all love that. Effective use of urban services and facilities as an alternative to extending new facilities there. And the decrease of commuter road congestion there, let's see. Ultimately, public cost savings as well. So why is now the time, possibly, to go into a commercial business? Well, COVID has not slowed the amount of opportunities that still exist in commercial. There has been no COVID-related recession for construction. It has literally missed our industry in a whole. And it still continues to grow. There are very few Latino contractors that are benefiting from this sector. The increase of public transportation expansions like MAX lines right now is in full force. There's significant bonds that have passed recently for schools and affordable housing, which many are mixed use. And the ability to grow at a faster rate rate and increase revenue is here in commercial. The cost of living also in Portland has really increased. And so that is very appealing to people to move into more mixed use environments and so forth, because, you know, there's less money. If they're paying more money for a house, there's less money to use to improve it. And then right now in the commercial industry, there's a big push for the use of community benefits agreements and large minority participation goals. So COVID certified firms, there are goals that they're wanting to reach, but in some cases, those goals exceed the availability for contractors. So there is this huge need for more minority contractors to be in this commercial industry, and they're going to get jobs left and right because they're needed. Most of this is not new to you, and of commercial, it's things that you're already doing. It's just verging into a different type of market. And I have to say that there are business changing tools with incentives through Energy Trust that everybody should be utilizing. And then of course, LatinoBuilt is here to support you in every step of the way. And I just wanted to check with David to see if I had missed anything and if he wanted to add any examples as well.
No, I'm good, Leanna. I think you hit it right on the nail.
Okay, perfect. I'll hand it over to Angel then.
Thank you. That was great. Yeah, this is perfect for what we're looking at. I'm admitting somebody right now. That's great. And so as Leanna was saying, there's a lot of opportunities in commercial. And so I wanted to take a minute now to switch gears and just give us a quick, brief summary on what Energy Trust is in the context of this, right? So Energy Trust supports customers of all the major investor-owned utilities, so the big utilities in Oregon, and then Northwest Natural customers in Vancouver, Clark County area. So there's customers, there's quite a few up there too. So I don't want you to forget about that. Like I know a lot of the folks in this call work in the Portland metro area and might have customers on the other side of the river. So consider them as well when you're thinking about these opportunities and incentives. And the bonuses we're going to talk about in a minute apply to them as well. So we have Portland General Electric, Pacific Power for electric customers, and Northwest Natural of this Cascade Natural Gas. So this is something around like 85% of all commercial customers in the state of Oregon have one of these utilities or one or two of these. Southwest Washington is Northwest Natural. And this is just a couple of bullet points. There's a lot that Energy Trust does. And we provide information, technical assistance, and cash rebates to support energy efficient programs. And we work with trade ally contractors like some of you, and some of you hopefully will become trade ally contractors with us. And it's ratepayer fund supported. So that means that if you are a ratepayer of any of these investor-owned utilities, you are already contributing financially to the funds that are used to allocate these resources. This is a public good, right? The public good is that, you know, as David mentioned before, the environment. We are trying to minimize the need for generation of energy in Oregon so that we don't have to build new power plants or go to the market and buy something off, you know, from other generating sources, and manage that what we have already. And so this is us taking some money and saying, okay, now how can we best be good stewards of what we're able to generate and not require more generation, which would mean more pollution and also higher costs ultimately to the ratepayer. So it's a dynamic that's a little unique, and I think kind of awesome that we do that in this state, and that we've made that commitment as a state to manage our resources effectively. Any questions about that? I wanted to ask. I wanted to be a little bit more engaging, but I realize we have only an hour, and I don't want to run out of time. But if anybody has any questions about Energy Trust or wants any clarifying statements regarding what I just said, I know that was kind of a lot. Anybody? Does anybody have one of these at their house? Any of these investor-owned utilities at their home? If you have, and a little fun thing to know is that if you have, there you go, if you have Portland General Electric or Pacific Power in Oregon, you are eligible for something called an Energy Saver Kit at your house, which is essentially a box of free LED light bulbs and aerators and shower heads. And so I'd just like to say that to anyone, even if it's a commercial conversation. I know it's a residential thing, but if you do have one of those electric utilities, it's lovely to know. Who doesn't love free light bulbs? So that's a quick summary of that. I wanted to show the map because I feel like it really helps people get what it means. We cover all of the Portland metro area, essentially, Salem area, and then Southern Oregon. So there's a lot of customers for you. The example we're focusing on today, we have a lot of incentives. We don't want to give you all of them. We have links in here, and we'll be sharing that as a follow-up. But the incentive we're going to talk about today, mostly in our example as a way to showcase what we're offering, is we have incentives for insulation. Insulation is the best way to save energy in a building. You can save energy with more efficient, thank you, Karen, perfect. You can save energy by changing out your windows, but that's pretty expensive and a little labor intensive. But if you can add insulation, that is where most of your energy loss is in any built environment. So that's residential and commercial. So we've added some incentive bonuses to our standard incentive, and it's kind of a screaming deal. So I want to make sure that people are aware of it. We have incentives generally are 50 cents a square foot for insulating your roof with an R15 or higher. So this, if anyone has a question what R15 is, I'm happy to help, but I think most folks in this call are familiar. If you go R30 or higher, our standard incentive is $1, but now until the end of the year, we have $2 a square foot. So we're talking $2 a square foot incentive on a project. That's cash back. It's an incentive that gets paid back to you. It's not a tax incentive. It's something that comes in the form of a check made out to your business, to your customer's business, and they're able to cash that as it functions like a rebate. Our attic insulation incentives are 90 cents a square foot now. That's a much simpler process, so it's less costly to do. So that's why that incentive is lower. It still makes quite a bit of difference on the overall cost of the insulation. And then insulating your wall. So a lot of times if someone's doing a drywall project or they're doing some kind of refurbishment in the space, this is an awesome opportunity for them to add insulation where there wasn't before, and that makes the cost of that whole project less expensive and helps to support the increased efficiency of the space. So we also have incentives for lots of other things, and like I said, it would take us a long time to go through all of them, and eyes would glaze over. So let's leave that. I have a links for those, and I'm available, and Dulce is available afterwards if you want to ask us any questions about that. We got a lot of people on this call who shared their contact information, also available to go into some more details in different areas. But let's stick with this one for now to illustrate the point. But there's a lot of lighting too. Eric, I know you said you're an electrician. If you're involved in lighting, we have a lot of lighting incentives. We have commercial food service equipment. I'm going to stop there, but there's a lot. And as I'm saying, we want to illustrate how we can use the incentives and Energy Trust resources to support your business in a real way. Here is our feature for the whole hour we're together. We're going to be doing I'm going to take this off, and I'm now going to invite our actors to come forward, and we're going to role play how this could look in the real world to help us understand where this could go. So I'm going to invite David, who is going to be playing our contractor. Dulce will be playing our building owner, who is looking for the services of this very capable contractor and trade ally of Energy Trust. And then I will also be a trade ally coordinator on the side. So Dulce?
Yes, so hi David. I'm actually reaching out to you because I wanted to get a quote on replacing my roof and insulation. And I have a commercial building that is 10,000 square feet. So how much do you think that would come out to be for me?
Well, non-insulated is 8,000. It's $8 a square foot. $9 is roughly. That's for supervision, labor, material, equipment, and subcontracting costs. But we're looking at between $8 and $9. So we're looking at $80,000 to $90,000. However, you should know that there are some incentives for you as the building owner where you could get it for less. So my quote is going to come in at $9 insulated, and so it's actually $90,000, and that's our quote at $9.
Okay, so I actually called other contractors and they gave me, I have two other quotes. One of them was about $80,000 and the other one was $85,000. So I'm not sure how your price is actually going to be more cost efficient than.
So this isn't really a question about, sort of lowest price or best value. This is going to come down to essentially we're going to be the best value, we believe, and we're also going to be the lowest bidder. So with that in mind, I'd love to introduce to you Angel. I can explain it just as well, but I'd love to bring Angel, our commercial point of contact with Energy Trust, and be able to show you a slide deck in terms of how it works and how you can save money, both being the best value as well as being the low bidder. So with that, let me see if Angel's available.
Okay.
Ring, 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 ring. I think the phone's ringing right
Oh, you
now.
know what? Hold on. I actually had a ringtone on that, and
Oh, you had it queued up for this.
I did have it queued up, and I have to pull out my phone, so I don't want to take any more seconds. So let's just assume that you heard the ringtone. Okay, Angel.
Ring, ring. Hi, this is Angel with Energy Trust. How can I help you?
Energy Trust. Great. Angel, this is Dave Molina, Molina's Construction Company.
Hi.
I have here on the line Dulce, and she's the commercial building owner. 10,000 square feet is what we're looking at. We have submitted our quote, a price at $9 a square foot for both insulation and the actual material. Also provision, material, equipment, subcontracting costs, rental of equipment. I'm indicating to her that we're going to be the best value and the low bidder, indicating there are incentives and we will come less than the other two quotes. So that in mind, love for you to sort of give her the one slide deck on how she could benefit from using us and at the same time help the environment.
Yeah, well, just a couple questions. It sounds like you're going to be adding insulation, and is that going to be at least R15?
Yes. So, I mean, I'm guessing that's what my contractor's saying.
They're all,
Yeah, so David.
Yep, there's all.
Great. So you're adding a minimum of R15, and is this project going to be completed before the end of the year?
Well, depending on the ring gods, but yeah, we'd love to take advantage of 2020.
Great, awesome. So that's wonderful. And then Dulce, do you heat your building with Northwest Natural or one of the following utilities? Because you're in the Portland metro area. Is it Northwest Natural or Pacific or Portland General Electric?
Yes, I do.
Oh, great. So you heat with Northwest Natural. That's wonderful. So I can confirm that you meet the eligibility criteria as long as your billing rate is the commercial billing rate, which means you're not doing something kind of creative with your billing rate. So you have a Northwest Natural heating your space. You're talking about a 10,000 square foot roof project where it's going to be at least an R15 completed before the end of the year. That's fantastic. We have a bonus going on that I think David factored into his quote. And our bonus means that for every square foot of 15 or more R value that you add to your roof where you have no existing insulation, because I believe that's what David was saying, is you have no existing insulation in the roof, then you have an incentive instead of $5,000, which is our usual incentive. The current incentive is going to be $20,000 for that project. So that's $20,000 in a check that you'll be getting 6 to 8 weeks after the application is submitted, which you can do as soon as the project is done.
Wow, that's great. And is it tax credit, you said, or tax rebate?
That's a really good question. A lot of people get confused because we call it incentives because they're intended to incentivize people to make energy efficient choices. But in fact, it's a check. It's not cash, but you would take this check like you would any other check and then deposit it into your business account, and it would just function as part of your refund, almost on the cost of the project.
So I could use that money to go shopping afterwards.
You could do whatever. You take a vacation once we're allowed. It'll be great.
Great.
So, yeah. Oh, good. Thank you, David. Was that what you wanted me to make sure that she was clear about?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So thank you, Angel, so much.
Perfect.
We'll give you much more of your evening. We will be in touch if
Great.
we need anything else.
Thank you. And Dulce, you have my contact information if you have any questions, and I've sent you the link with the details on the website. So have a great evening, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Angel. Well, David, I think that's a conversation and you convinced me. I guess I'm going to have to go with you after all.
Wonderful. We'll be in touch on scheduling.
All right, do it.
All right.
That is some major acting. I was so impressed. Okay. So as David was mentioning, we do actually have a slide that kind of outlines what we're talking about here. And David, did you want to talk about this slide, or shall I can take it too? It's either whichever you want to do.
No, I mean, you went over it really well last time we talked. Go ahead.
Okay, that's great. Well, so we're just throwing 10,000 square foot roof replacement as an example. Obviously, ratchet that up and down. It's pretty simple math. So the quotes that Dulce was getting was around 80,000, maybe 85,000, and then David comes in with his fancy high cost proposal. But then when he explained it, he was saying, well, I'm also adding a high value R value insulation to this project to make sure that you increase the comfort of your space and you'll save utility costs. And because of this bonus incentive that's active right now, you get $20,000 check back. So then now you can see obviously the baseline here is the total cost of the project with the insulation is actually $70,000 all math in. So we're looking at, is there a question? I saw like a note coming up here.
Nope, just note for you, Angel.
But not,
yeah, continue on.
oh, okay. I'm not smooth when I'm sharing because I can't see the chat very well. Sorry about that. Wonderful. So the cost at the end of the day might be around 70. Obviously, these numbers are total approximations and only kind of pulled out of some general estimations to help us understand. But we've seen and talked to some contractors who have seen this in the world. If you're doing just an installation of a roof for your customer, your cost would be different because it's all project costs are associated with only that installation project. And so you might be looking at something like a $25,000 cost for that project, but still you're saving $20,000 and it's $5,000 project. And the payback on that estimated, I've checked with our engineering team, and the calculations that we've done with data from 2014 to 2018 says that we're looking at approximately $2,000 a year in utility costs saved and your gas bill and your electric bill combined. If you are heating with both, if you have Northwest Natural as your heating, and Portland General Electric as your electric for your fans that are running. So, and then you have increased indoor comfort. And the other additional benefit is that you get to feel like you've done everything you can to ensure that your building's not wasting energy and that you are working towards the betterment of the environment and not wasting the resources that cost a lot of resources to generate. So it's a very simple example, and I hope that our theater has helped to illustrate that. Does anyone have any questions? It's a great time for questions. Anyone feel like they're going to use this tomorrow in their projects?
Well, I have a question. So basically, this incentives is going to be until 2020. I mean, for this year, it's going to change for the next year.
It's likely to extend into next year, but now the only thing I can confirm at this point is that it's till the end of this year. Cameron, do you want to say anything else?
Well, I was just going to say, right. Ernesto, and generally Energy Trust works on a calendar year. So our incentives are typically good from January 1st through December 31st. And then through our insider newsletter, we do what's an incentive roundup that'll have all of the changes for each program. So if you were working with us as a trade ally in residential and commercial, you would get those notifications of what was changing or being updated.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, incentive to sign up for that newsletter. We'd like to keep a lot of resources in there. Great, thanks for that question, Ernesto. You do installation, so this is probably right in your wheelhouse. We have all kinds of installation incentives, so this is a good one for you.
Yeah, definitely. I do more residential and retrofitting, and like I said, manufactured homes. I don't do much commercial, but because I mean, obviously it's a bigger job, and you have to get a lot of hands to help to finish the job. But it's a really nice incentive where you can get a little more potential jobs in there.
Yeah, great. See, when I plant a little seed, maybe start thinking about moving into some small commercial projects that aren't necessarily as big. The math still applies to a 2,500 square foot restaurant who needs a new roof or something along those lines. There's other maybe smaller jobs that might support, maybe partner up with a roofer. I'm not sure how that would work necessarily, but we're glad to share this so that it can be part of your process. So.
Yeah, and just a quick question. So it requires something, I assume in different insurance about residential to commercial, right? Like the bond is going to be bigger, or the liability is going to be maybe $2 million or something like that. Do you have any information about that?
Our liability insurance is $1 million, and we don't have. I'll double check. I don't believe we have the specific bonding requirement, but we do have workers' comp requirement. And then on the commercial side, when a contractor enrolls, we do request customer references just so that we can reach out to customers and check experience. Yep. But I'll send you a link to that, Ernesto, and confirm on the bonding side for you.
Okay. Right. And the other thing is and Ernesto, I would like to also say that to take advantage of the incentive, you don't really have to be a trade ally to participate in the commercial program. Trade ally membership gives you lots of other benefits and support, but even if you haven't gone through the process to sign up as a trade ally, I'm still here as a resource. Cameron is still here. Like the people who work with Energy Trust on this call and beyond, we're still here if you need us. to support you. We just like it when you join so we can help promote you and put you on our website and be findable and all of those things. But you're already a trade ally, I think, in the residential side, so it should be pretty easy to moving along. And then I saw a question from Josh here. That's a great question. We are agnostic. We do not have any favorites around type or brand of insulation. You could do a polystyrene firm, you could do the fluffy stuff, you could do anything as long as the R value is the right R value. So whatever you can use that has that insulative value, you're good to go. I hope that answers your question, does it? So yeah, only R values, exactly, right. And not to muddy the waters a little bit, but there is a path that David could offer Dulce, which is that if Dulce's saying, well, I don't know if I want to do upfront 90,000, that's still a lot, then David could offer to give her the discount at the point of sale if Dulce signs away her incentive to David. So that's a thing that's available for people, and I like to make sure that people are aware of it, especially if you have a reluctant customer who's a little bit like, I mean, I get it that someday I'm going to get some check. That sounds kind of fantastical. You know, maybe they don't believe it or something because it does sound too good to be true, although it is true. Maybe they'll prefer to get that money off of the bill ahead of time. And if you, as a contractor, feel like you're willing to take that on, then you're welcome to do that. And that's an additional form. So there's a form that you would fill out, your customer would fill out that you would support them, or I would support them, or someone from our team would support them in completing that application and submitting that. And so in order for them to get the discount from you, you'd want them to complete that and then sign away their incentive, which is one additional piece of paper that just says, I, as a ratepayer, give this to David and his company. Any questions about that?
Angel, I have a little bit more of a question and clarification on that too. I mean, seems like a lot of paperwork, additional paperwork. Is there people who are going to help me with this?
What a great question. I'm so glad you asked. I don't know if any of you have met Dulce. I'm just kidding. Like, nobody there knows. But yeah, everybody here is here to help. The paperwork is one sheet that essentially says, what is your site information? Like, where's this project happening? What's your utility account information? And we need a copy of your bill just to confirm that is true. And then we want a W-9 so we can pay you. So if you're working with a customer who's a business, they usually have this information. They'll have a W-9, or they'll be aware of their W-9, the number that they're doing business. Sometimes they don't. And I just want you to know, we go the extra mile if the customer is maybe a small business and maybe their friend is doing their accounting or something, and it's not necessarily streamlined and easy to access. We literally will go to their house or wherever they want us to go and just ask them and help them get the stuff together and help them submit it if they need it. But it's just this one sheet that talks about where the project is, your utility account information, a W-9, and then we get a copy of the invoice. But generally we get that from the contractor who's doing the work. The contractor, especially if they're a trade ally, they know the drill. They know that we're going to want to see an invoice that makes sure to say, for instance, if it's an R15 insulation, that the invoice says roofing project with such and such square footage of insulation installed, and all that stuff. So does that sound like a lot to anyone? Pretty straightforward. But if you're at all worried about it, I think that as a contractor, you'll be supporting your customer with the information, and then you have your team behind you, which is, as a LatinoBuilt member or contractor, you have your team, which is Dulce and Liana and the folks at LatinoBuilt, and you also have Energy Trust team, which is myself, and you have Cameron, and you have some various people on this call and beyond who are here to do what we can to support. Thank you, Liana. Great question. Anybody else?
But
That's
Angel,
not a plant.
Yeah. Eric, you had mentioned interest in solar, and solar is the one trade ally network within our programs where you do have to be enrolled in the network to offer those incentives. And in those cases, we pay the trade ally directly. Application is submitted for us to review the design of that system, just to make sure that that customer is getting the renewable energy generation that we're looking for. And then the contractor provides that upfront discount to the customer, and then we reimburse and pay the incentive directly to the contractor. So if you've got additional questions about solar, I'm happy to follow up after the meeting.
Yeah, Eric, you're waving your hand, but you're muted. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt. I didn't know. Yeah. Quick question. What about fluorescent to LED conversions? Any kind of incentives there?
I believe we do, but I will need to follow up, Eric, because on the lighting side, we do have some changes that are coming pretty quickly. So I'd be happy to follow up with you after the meeting on available lighting incentives.
Yeah, and the offerings Energy Trust has, it's pretty expansive. It's a portfolio of offerings. So as Cameron was mentioning, the solar program has different requirements. We're speaking specifically today about commercial construction, and we have resources obviously in the chat. You've seen we have some folks from multifamily, and then Cameron shared some residential incentives, but we didn't want to overwhelm you with too much. So, but there's plenty of people who are here and excited to answer all of your questions and work with you one-on-one and walk you through the process. So we want to make sure we get you involved. All right. And the next step, become a trade ally, you guys. It'd be great to have you. And we can list you on our website. You meet with your coordinator, who can be me or someone else on our team. And then bring us in, like we illustrated with David and Dulce, to support your business in any way that we can. We're not partial. We don't play favorites, right? But we do have our favorites. No, I'm just kidding. We have people we like to work with, and we know that you know the business. You make it easy. You know, we show up and we just confirm information or answer any questions. Sometimes business owners are a little bit like, that sounds like a racket. And I get it, because it is a great program that people are still a little bit like, how does this work? So it's an education process, an awareness process, and that's what we're here for, is to help keep people, make sure that they understand where it's coming from and that it is a real thing. So, and then we have other benefits when you're a trade ally. So we offer this thing called cooperative marketing or business development funds. We call them business development funds, which means that if you're, for instance, if you're a COVID certified contracting firm and you want to do a big promotion for your business, upgrade your website, print business cards, print some swag or something like that. If you print on there that you're a trade ally of Energy Trust somewhere, and we have some guidelines for that, it's pretty straightforward. 50% of the cost of that, which means the design, the shipping, the materials itself, all of that can be reimbursed in an incentive check. So a check that gets sent to you and you get to cash in your own business. So if you spend $1,000 on a marketing push, you document that, and tell us beforehand though, because we want to make sure, because there are some things we can't do, like we can't do car wraps, or we can't do clothes anymore. We used to do clothes, we can't do it anymore. So there's a few things that we want to make sure that we're clear about, but there's a process for that, and we will be sending out this PDF with links to those processes. And when you become a trade ally, all of that will be in your orientation. But it's a good thing to take into account. We really want you to be successful, and so any way that you're getting the word out about what you're up to and that you are involved in energy efficiency, you know, we want to give you 50% of that back. If you're not a COVID certified firm, or you're not I think Cameron self-identified still works for that, if I'm not mistaken, until the end of the calendar year. For the business development fund.
We have a self-attestation if you're not COVID certified yet. We'd highly recommend getting certified with the state. We would love to see more firms getting certified, but you can, for the purpose of business development funds, fill out that attestation form that will get you access to that. And another thing beyond the great benefits that Angel had mentioned is that we also included personal protective equipment this year. So you can use your business development funds to help reimburse for those expenses as well, because we know safety is a top priority for you and your customers. So.
Yeah, thank you, Cameron. And so while doing using our incentives and our bonuses is not something that requires you to be a trade ally, to take advantage of the marketing funds, you do have to be a trade ally. And again, and Leanna mentioned in the notes, it's free, so why not? And listing on the website, you know, that's the basic things. And again, there'll be some links on this in the PDF version for you to check out later. And rounding out our experience of the picture, look at myself. So there's these are some people you can talk to if you have some questions. And then also there's some people who share their contact information in the chat. Feel free to reach out to them too if you have questions about the things that we've shared. We're happy to help. And Dulce at LatinoBuilt. LatinoBuilt, again, I just want to reiterate, amazing partners doing such important work in this space with Latino contractors and supporting just the generational wealth in growing the strength of the Latino community and the contractor conversation at a higher level. And I really think that's amazing. And so, and Dulce and Leanna are big proponents of the program, and they're working with us to promote the program. So if you do have questions, they're also a wonderful place to start. They will connect you with the right people. If it's not a commercial program, a residential program, they'll know who to talk to. And of course, I'm here. I'm happy to connect you with anyone, if I can't help you, I can definitely get you to the right people. Thank you so much for your time. Questions and answers. This is maybe question and answer time. Anybody? Anything?
Where do I go to get such a professional looking photo?
Which one? The one of me? God.
Both of them. They're wonderful.
No, Dulce.
I got mine from
so
Liana.
Joaquin wants one too. Sorry.
So I have a question, Angel. Let's say I apply today. How long would the process take for me to officially be able to take advantage of all the incentives and all of that?
That's a great question for our trade ally manager. Nick, what's the current turnaround for enrollment to, or maybe Cameron?
Let's say we can fast track that for a contractor. Typically, depending on customer references, things of that sort, it can take 2 to 4 weeks. But if we know it's coming in, we're happy to work with you and put your company to the top of the line.
Yeah, and then the only thing I'll add is, if you are already a trade ally, it's much easier just to get endorsed as existing buildings. But if you are not already a trade ally, we do have a process where we want to check with some references. So our project managers here call up your references to make sure that you have good references. But again, like Cameron was saying, we can do all this actually fairly quickly. So it winds up being mostly up to you rather than us as the process.
Trade ally coordinator in training there. Excellent.
Josh has a question. He wants to know, is there a quota that we need to meet if we become a trade ally?
Excellent question. So typically we require 1 project to be completed per year. So yeah, so it's 1 project a year.
Josh, I think you have 1 project, right? He's also saying he's afraid to sign up and not sell as much as expected. Any size. He said any size project. Can it be any size?
Any size. Yep. It could be insulation. It could be HVAC. It's just a completed project. That's it. Yep.
I think it's also important to note you do not have to be a trade ally to utilize the incentives. If you happen to just use them occasionally and don't feel like you want to enroll, you can definitely just use the standard incentives without doing all the paperwork. So.
Is there any way, I know this might be crazy, I've never asked it before, is there any way that you've already completed a project and you can go back and get the incentives off of something already completed?
Not typically on that, on that, Leanna. Well, we have what the incentive is designed to incentivize somebody to do something, and if it wasn't the incentive to begin with, that isn't an option. So, yep. Yeah, but good question.
Only if,
it does come
yeah,
up.
that's a good question. Yeah, only if in the sales process it was discussed and part of the reason why the customer moved forward or feels like that really is truthful, and maybe later they're like, oh, I forgot to submit the paperwork. But it can't be something where like you hear about it afterwards and you go, hey buddy, remember that thing I did for you? That's not how this is designed. Energy Trust is responsible for spending the money very intentionally and appropriately, and that's called free ridership, which means that, hey, that was going to happen anyway, so the money needs to be conserved and spent in a way that actually moves the market and influences behavior. So that's the justification behind that, but it is a very, very good question. So, but if you happen to have a situation where the people are you did talk about it, it was something we're going to do, and things get busy and it's a small business and the paperwork was on the desk and it got covered by something else, and it's been 3 months because we want it within 90 days. In fact, do it right away, but within 90 days of the completion of the project, that's the deadline. And if it's beyond that, then we have to get approval to accept the application. But who wants to wait that long for their money anyway, right? Let's get this show on the road. So, but if there is something that happens, things happen, approach us. We can see what we can do. We often approve a 90-day, something that's 90 to 180, but don't do that. Just get it in. So I have a hand raised, Ernesto.
Sorry. Yeah, so what happened when some of the building has already existing insulation and is really deteriorated, really bad, and it's falling down? Do they qualify if we remove the insulation, disposal, and just put like, oh, you know what? maybe it was outer 11 only, and then it's a 2x8 joists, and they would like to fill the cavity. So basically, it's going to be at 25 or sometimes at 30. So it's a little compressed, but it's filled the cavity. Is that still working for the incentive, or it is because it's already existing in there on the commercial job? Isn't they're not going to qualify for that incentive?
So there's a long answer to that, and there's a short answer. Every case is a little bit different, but we are able to defer to expert opinion, and if the insulation is effectively zero because it's compromised in some capacity, or effectively a diminished R value.
Yeah, I'll think about that. I can.
We're good to go. We have there are segment experts within our group that can help sort of address every single individual specific answer, and we want to work with you guys. So ask all the questions.
Okay.
I mean, in effect, if it's not working like it should, it's not there. You know, might as well not be there to some extent. But that's the short answer I think that Nick was alluding to. But if you have any doubts or questions, please call us. You know, we respond very quickly.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Excellent. Thank you for that question, Ernesto. Anybody else? All right, who wants to sign up today? If you have any questions, yeah, Dulce's already been helping some people with their process. I'm here to help. You know, Nick, Cameron, we're all here to help. So let us know.
Is there any hesitations from anybody? Like any questions like, oh, I want to sign up, but this is the one thing that I feel like I might not be able to do or is stopping me to sign up?
It's a great question. Anyone not COVID certified who's curious about that process? Oh, Eric, go ahead.
Oh yeah, hey, I'm just so FYI, I'm COVID certified. But yeah, I'll look into getting certified to signing up for the program. I just completely unfamiliar with it, so I'm just going to go over some things, and I'll probably be in touch soon.
Awesome.
And if anybody is not yet a LatinoBuilt member, please also reach out to Dulce or myself. We want to get you in there because we want to support you in whatever capacity that you guys have. So whether you are rolling in the funds now, or if you're not, we have other payment opportunities as well for scholarships for membership.
So quick question. I am already a Trade Alley Energy Trust, but for residential, what do I have to do for commercial?
Excellent question. There is an addendum. So you are already a Trade Ally, and in order to become a Trade Ally for residential, you filled out the basic form, and then you had an addendum form that was for residential specifically. And so now you've already done the main form. You don't have to do that again. There's now just an additional form that then adds you to the existing buildings program. And so that's something we can send you right now as soon as we get off this call, and you're welcome to submit that as soon as you want. Yeah.
Okay.
And say another thing too, if you're not, Leanna, to your point, if you're not a LatinoBuilt member, but you sign up as a Trade Ally, you can use our business development funds to get reimbursed for membership to LatinoBuilt as well. So that's another benefit that you can use for as a Trade Ally too. And that goes for memberships to great organizations like LatinoBuilt, also for training that LatinoBuilt or other organizations provide. There's reimbursement for that too. So keep that in mind.
I did not know that.
Thank
you.
They got so excited. Yeah, that's really great. Good point, Cameron.
Yeah, exactly.
That's 50% reimbursement, by the way. So that's a 50% off price tag for joining LatinoBuilt. So excellent. And I think does that work for renew, because it's annual fees, right?
Yeah, so those funds are available on a first come, first served basis every year. So then commercial side, I'll be honest, the budget doesn't get used up. Residential burns well, and so does solar. Solar contractors are taking advantage of it. So commercial contractors, you as a minority or women-owned business, you get up to $4,000 per year. and up to a 50% reimbursement. So, yep, that's available.
I know some people who just renewed.
Yep, have them submit their invoice, and we'll reimburse them for that. Yep, if they're a trade
As long
ally,
as they're
we'll
trade
get that
ally.
taken care of.
And they can be a trade ally for anything. So if you're, so Ernesto, you're a trade ally for residential, but what Cameron is saying is if you're a trade ally for existing buildings, there's more funds available there. So cover your bases, right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
So I
so
don't
we'll
think there's
follow up
no
with
reason
Ernesto.
for anybody to not be a LatinoBuilt member at this point.
Yeah, there you go. Become a trade ally, and then sign up with LatinoBuilt.
Yep.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. So just following up, it looks like I think Eric Martinez is going to talk with Cameron about the solar program and enrollment. Is that how that's going to go? I just want to make sure we have some action items.
Yep, I'll follow up with you,
that.
Eric,
Okay.
on solar. And
Fabulous.
then,
And then,
oh, sorry, go ahead, Angel.
and then Ernesto, we're going to make sure that you get the addendum form for existing buildings enrollment, and I'll get your contact information from Dulce to make sure that we close that loop.
Okay.
Sound good? Great.
And I gotta
Yeah,
respond to Dulce. I gotta respond to Dulce about my LatinoBuilt membership as well. It's filled out. I need to get it finished. So
Don't worry, Eric. You're gonna hear from me by tomorrow, anyways.
all good. Just gotta find the time. So all good. Thanks, everybody.
Hey,
Thank you.
Angel, question on some of us who may already be residential or commercial doing projects right now. And we're doing work and we're like an invoicing process. We're doing the work. Is it possible to involve these energy trust benefits post the fact, post signing a contract, or is it something that has to be done in advance? So let's say,
Oh, yeah.
initial contracts.
Totally.
Is it okay? So we just get in touch. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just as long as, the example we gave earlier, that if you've sold the job without talking about the incentives, then we cannot provide incentives for that. But if you sold the job talking about the benefits of the energy efficiency incentives that are offered by Energy Trust, then we can offer that, right?
Yeah.
So it's just about making sure that we're not throwing money at something that doesn't need to be thrown at. So let's make a difference. So yeah, but yeah, sure. I mean, really, the way it works, it doesn't need to be in your actual printed invoices or anything like that. It's great if you can, because it feels polished and it's clear and it's easy to communicate with a customer. But your project can go along as if it would anyway, with the understanding that post-project, the invoice is then submitted for incentive, right? Because the invoice is going to include the information about the project that makes it eligible for the incentive, right? So it's going to say square footage and R value and all that, for instance, for this kind of thing. Obviously, there's other incentives that could be speaking to, but in this instance, we're talking about the installation. Make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Awesome. Great. Any parting words, comments, any takeaways, any spontaneous outbursts of joy and excitement for the sharing of all the wonderful things we have here today? Cameron looks like you took yourself off mute.
Angel, I'm pretty stoked that we had this many people on this call. I was very excited. I mean, one is better than none, and it shows, the outreach Liana, Dulce put together and you guys put together, but it also shows people's interest. And from my vantage point, when I look at this in Energy Trust, I look at it as diversification of our model of our business. I think too many of us, especially right now with COVID, you got the governor here, you got governors in Ohio shutting down, right? That we have to think about, ensuring that we can feed each of us as business owners. We can, Josh, Ernesto, all of us, we can feed our families, right? And so we have, on the one end, you have commercial companies out there who have a budget. Some of them have a budget, and they're looking for a job to be done. In the midst of that, Oregon has a benefit, right, to these commercial owners, right? And you're saying it's not being utilized 100%. It's being utilized maybe 60%, 80%. So what's that tell us? Is that there's money on the table right now that these companies could leverage, and there's not enough commercial companies, right, in the mix. So it makes sense for, I would, from my vantage point, Latino business owners to be involved in this project, be involved in this, not only to diversify, but be able to, sure we have funds for our families and our food on the table, but because there's money on the table. And from that perspective, because there's money on the table, there's a benefit. I think it's a really cool thing. And then only till the end of the year. But in any case, you know, it's been going on for a little while. Energy Trust isn't new. I've heard of you guys for a long time. So.
Yeah, thank you. That's well put. And I noticed that there's Jose Rivera, which we hadn't heard from in the introductions, not to put you on the spot, but I don't know if you wanted to say have any comments or any follow-up questions, having joined, I think, a little bit later.
No, not at all. I'm pretty familiar with some of this stuff, so I think
That's great.
I just wanted to see what the Energy Trust was about, but it's really interesting.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining. What's your business?
I do commercial contracting. We do TI, tenant improvement, more of the sector. So I know David Molina. We're actually in the Port of Portland Mental Project program together. So we're very familiar with this stuff.
Okay.
Jose's a good smart. Hey, Dulce, so do Jose a member LatinoBuilt? Hey, Jose.
No, they're not.
Dude, it's like right here.
So if you send me his contact information, oh no, I could get it. I could get his.
I will text you right now, Dulce. You're going to call Jose until your freaking size up.
I'm getting everyone today.
Hey,
so.
Dulce, I will say Jose's a very smart guy. He actually, he hooked it up with some software for takeoff. We were doing some crazy software that's so expensive and some stuff that didn't make sense. Jose's like, why aren't you using, and he said it, and I was like, oh, what? And so Jose knows a lot about construction, and he's freaking fairly young. He has no gray hair, and he's freaking young, and he's doing the right thing. So, and him and I are in that port program. So, if anything, I'm gonna learn a lot from Jose and also some of you guys on this call, Josh as well. Because I don't come from construction. I was in the Army for 12 years, so I haven't been doing this for very long.
Okay, well, I am going to thank everybody for coming, and I know that you guys need to get back to your families and dinner and what have you. Thank you so much to Angel and Energy Trust and Cameron and everyone else in the call, and thank you for taking time out of your day. I hope you guys learned a lot, and we're ready to grow with you. So please reach out to us. Any last comments, Angel?
I'm so happy to talk with you and look forward to working with you and supporting you in any way we can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good night.
Good night.